you probably don't have the same.
We're back to another video. Let's go.
And so you are more flexible. You can go to places where learning can occur faster. You can have fewer strings attached. You can live for less, which means you can be more aggressive with the excess cash that you make to reinvest in skills or informal investments because you understand the value of multiplying and compounding, right? And again, this geographical flexibility I think is wildly underrated. One of the things that you get the advantage of when you're younger is that, like, if you want to be in, you know, politics, go to DC. If you want to be in finance, go to New York. If you want to be in in influencer and media, go to LA, right? Those are great places to learn. Now, once you become Joe Rogan, you can move to Austin and do whatever the hell you want, right? But the thing is that when you want to get those reps, you want to go where the reps are, right? You want to go where the reps are trying to fish.
Yeah, okay.
And what you're fishing for right now is skills and network.
Skills and network.
You're trying to get places, and you want to do it before you have strings tying you down and roots that you have set. And that is, again, it's a competitive advantage. It's not to say that when you're older you can't do it. It's just harder. Right? And so if you believe that it's hard for you now to forego your existing path, which may have been given to you by your siblings or society or whatever, I promise you it will only get harder. And if you can't do it now, the likelihood that you're able to do it later goes down. Right? And for me, I want to stack bets where the probabilities are highest for my success. And whenever you enter a new system, by the way, this is game theory, the most adaptable player wins. So it's like survival of the fittest, right? And fittest is most adaptable. And when you are younger, you have the most adaptability. You have the most neuroplasticity, as in you can learn faster. You have the most energy, so you can do repetitions. You have the least geographical constraints, so you can move to where the action is. When you do earn, you make more dollars on each dollar you make. All the skills you acquire compound with time because you only get better at it. The accomplishments that you get from being young mean more because you are young than they do when they're old. And so the final point that I'll say is this, is that you want to model success, not the exceptions. Of course, we want to tell the story of Colonel Sanders, who started, Colonel Sanders when he's 63, and there's a bunch of, other kind of call it exception stories of people who are older and then started companies and then obviously were really successful. But like, wouldn't it be better to be the rule than the exception? Like the richest people often got rich when they were young because they decided to, right? And I will say this because I love this quote from James Clear, but the thing that separates winners and losers is not their goals. People's goals are the same. The difference between the people who win and lose is the actions they take as a result. And the risk that they're willing to tolerate and the pain that they're willing to endure for extended periods of time with an uncertain payoff. And so if you think that you need certainty in order to move forward, I promise you that this world will never give it to you. And so it's really that there will always be uncertain, and at some point you grow the cojones, the gonads, by the way, that's bisexual or unisex. Everybody's got gonads. You will grow the gonads, or they will drop, or whatever it is. I told you I was going to do some HR stuff. You will grow the nads you need to take the bets. And so I think what really happens is that at some point you realize that you're not going to die if you fail. You will just learn and you will get better, which is the point of the process. And you will never finish and you will never actually win, because by the time you win, you will have already planted a much bigger goal that you want, because the goal that you had came in shooting distance. And the easiest analogy I can say for this is this. When I wanted to, bench 315, for example, I was a dream of mine when I was in high school, right? Because I remember that just one big plate was wow, the strong kids could do a full plate, right? And then 2 plates was like super strong. 3 plates was crazy. By the time I benched 315, I knew I was going to hit 315 because I had done 275 for 5.
So you do reps, and it makes them the reps.
Tripler instead of 5. And so 315 seemed obvious, right? And so the thing is that by the time you accomplish goals, the goals themselves seem less meaningful because you already did the work to make that goal reasonable, which is why you achieved it, which is why you have to do so much work that is unreasonable that you do not become successful. And the best way to do that is to start when you're younger for all the reasons I just gave. All right. That's why you should succeed while you're young. That's why you should ignore the people who are telling you, who don't have what you want, telling you how to get something that they've never gotten. All right. Feeling spicy this morning on this Friday, Flex Fridays. Was that fun? Was that fun for you guys? Okay. So I'm going to do a little Q's and A's. And then we're going to do some chat, and we're going to do some Q's and A's, and it'll be fun.
Business advice.
Let's go. Caller 1, Ian Cunningham. What it do, bugaboo. Let's go. If you can unmute Ian, that'd be super swell.
Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.